Wassup YouTube, PokePrimer here, primarily to deliver you our Week 3 battle here in the NPBA Season 2. This week we are taking on Justin and the Toney Typhlosions. You can see from our team builder that we brought Spyro, our Mega Charizard Y, Zanzibar the Dawn Fan, Basilisk the Heliolisk, Palindroma the Alomomola, Ripster the Garchomp, and Bella Buster the Stoutland. My opponent this week, Justin, decided he was going to bring his Jirachi, Volcanion, Mienshao, Flygon, Espeon, and Mega Gyarados. So, without further ado, I'm not going to ramble too much this week. I'm just going to go right into it. Go slow and switch sides. There we go. So, Justin leads with his Mienshao, as I lead with my Basilisk. I know that I can outspeed this thing, so I do take the risk turn 1 and go for the Volt Switch. Smack the hell out of this Mienshao really hard. And my best switch-in is Palindroma, just because it's the bulkiest thing on my team right now. And it takes under 50% from the high jump kick, so that's awesome. That's really good. So I'm able to actually just go for a Wish here, which is really good. And I can get up my HP the next turn as he switches into his Volcanion. I'm going to go for a Toxic here, because I know Volcanion's very bulky and doesn't have any form of reliable recovery, so this Toxic is just going to whittle it down really nicely. Take a Steam Eruption really well. This thing actually kind of walls Volcanion, if I'm being honest. So that's cool. So he has to go ahead and just swap out, because you know, that thing's not going to do much. So I go for the knockoff. I'm surprised he went out into his Espeon against me, but that's fine. I do get the knockoff off, and it does insane amounts of damage. It gets rid of his Light Clay, so I'm assuming he was planning on running screens, which is kind of cool. I go for a Wish here as he hits me with a Psychic. Figured that was my best play, because I know I can take the hit. Now I'm freely able to switch out into somebody else to take a hit, as I decide to switch into Bella Buster, as the Espeon goes for a Calm Mind. I'm like, no. And then it Baton Passes, and I'm like, what? What are you Baton Passing to? Baton Passes a Calm Mind into his Volcanion, and I'm like, oh, no thank you. No, you can please refrain from doing this. Not a fan at all. Don't Baton Pass Calm Minds into a Volcanion. Thank you. I do still just go out into Palindroma, though. Palindroma can take any hit from this thing, swallow a Steam Eruption, and we get burned. We needed to not get burned there. That would have been, like, the best scenario would have been to not be burned. But that's fine. He switches out, so it gets rid of the Calm Mind, which makes it a lot less threatening. I did just go for the knockoff, so I am going to knock off. He just loves switching his Psychic types on my knockoffing Alomomola. So I knock off the Choice Scarf on his Jirachi, which is good. He goes for his Zen Headbutt. Does not flinch me. Does not flinch me, as I'm able to get the Wish up. And at this point, after the burn, after burn damage, I decided that it would be safer to switch out and potentially get the Wish onto somebody else, rather than let Alomomola go down. But he missed the Zen Headbutt, so twice I tried to Wish Pass, and twice it didn't actually work, because, you know, no damage was done. So he goes out into his Leviathan, as I go for a knockoff of my own. So he's in here with his Mega Gyarados. I'm in here with Dawn Fan. I don't like that matchup in any universe. So I switch immediately into Bella Buster to get the Intimidate off on this thing, as he is going to actually just go ahead and go for a Waterfall. Does a decent chunk, but not too much. He's going to have to swap here, because he knows he can't do the damage at -1 attack. He goes out into his Flygon, as I just go for a Play Rough and do absolutely monstrous damage to this thing. He is actually a special Life Orb Flygon and smacks me with the Draco Meteor, and I'm like, oh shit. But I am able to just go for a return and kill this thing. So 15 turns in, the first mon drops, Flygon drops like a fly. It's great. That was a terrible pun. Mulan's just going to come in here and go for a U-turn. It's the safest play and just going to be able to take me out. But I do get the initiative here. He is going to go into his Volcanion. As that allows me to go into Basilisk. At this point, now that the Flygon is dead, I can literally just click Thunderbolt every time Basilisk is on the field. Because since it's dead, you know, we can... Since it's dead, we can just, you know, not worry about immunities. So I'm going to click Thunderbolt, kill the Volcanion. I'm going to click it again and do half of the Jirachi's remaining health, and then just click it twice, and Jirachi goes down. It does a decent chunk to us with Zen Headbutt, but that's fine. We've already kind of determined that we outspeed the entirety of his team. I feel like, because at this point I've pretty much determined that the Mienshao is scarfed. And like the reason I swapped there is I know I wasn't going to take it out in one hit from 100%. We can't OHKO it with Thunderbolt, which is unfortunate, but you know, whatever. I switch into Palindroma as he actually decides to go for the U-turn. I was at the point where I was sacking Palindroma off, so that's fine. So I let Palindroma go down to the Psychic from the Espeon here, which is, again, totally fine, as I am just able to get a free switch into Ripster my Garchomp, and just click Outrage, and blow the Espeon to the next dimension. And in comes the Mega Gyarados. At this point, I'm locked in. I know I'm dying to an Ice Fang this turn, but I need the damage off on this thing, and for it not to be able to set up on me. So I do just, you know, get the Outrage off. And between Outrage and the Rough Skin damage, this thing's basically in range to just die. So I actually go into Basilisk and go for the Volt Switch. Now there's a good reason for this. I go for the Volt Switch, I know it's going to kill, okay? This allows me to get a free switch into Spyro. So Spyro's going to hit the field right here, okay? Now I knew in my head that Mulan had to be carrying some form of Rock-type coverage for my Charizard. Had to be. But I Mega Evolve here, get the Drought up, okay? In comes the Rock Slide. Spyro's going to die. Perfect. Now, with the Sun up, because of the Solar Power ability, Thunderbolt is a guaranteed OHKO on this Mienshao. So I just go for the Thunderbolt, and boom, it's gone. Mienshao dies, and that right there is GG to me. 2-0 victory against Justin and the Toney Typhlosions. Fantastic start to the season. I'm really, really proud of how well we've been doing. Next week, we are taking on Jacob and the Hereford Goodras. He beat us last season out of pure rage to the fact that we drafted Goodras, so maybe without the Goodra on our team, maybe we'll actually be able to do better against him. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.